The Texas primary election had surprising results, with voters deciding they wanted a change. Joining us at the table to talk about the elections further is Dr. Henry Flores, professor of political science at St. Mary's University. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Let's start with the Bexar County DA race. Did anything surprise you?
Not at all, really. I'd been following that race for a while, and after going to several of the community meetings or debates that they had, I came away about 2 weeks before yesterday that Mr. Gonzalez was going to win. Mr. LaHood was off-putting. He wasn't coming forth with any kind of information, didn't want to discuss any issues in relation to criminal justice administration. Mr. Gonzalez, when asked the same questions, was very, very forthcoming, warm, and engaged the audiences very well, and also gave thoughtful responses about different types of areas that needed reform.
Well, what about the campaign contributions? George Soros, nearly $1 million. Do you think that had an influence?
I'm not sure how much of an influence. I think a lot of people already had their minds made up before that money came in. And it came in late, and by that time, you know, generally voters have their minds made up before. They don't vote on last minute whims. Maybe a new voter doesn't know anything about the election, but these are the party faithful. These are Democratic frequent voters that voted, and I think most of them had already had their minds made up.
All right, let's move on to the Bexar County Commissioner, Paul Elizondo. So what do you think would be the impact if he did not get this, become the Bexar County Commissioner?
Well, I guess the impact would fall heavily on Nelson Wolff, probably, as a county judge, because Mr. Elizondo's institutional memory over how the budget is put together and how money is distributed throughout the county and so forth. And if he were defeated, we'd lose that. We'd also lose the historical memory of a lot of different projects that were ongoing and needed to be done, and what the county was thinking about in the future. And so that would be a big hole to be filled. But you know, from looking at the I spent all day long looking at all the votes cast for all the different offices, and when I got to his race, I said, gee, I don't know if he's going to survive the runoff, really. Last night he looked very, very tired and lacking the energy for a runoff and everything. I'm not sure he really wanted to go through this election. He's claiming this forthcoming term is his last anyway.
All right, so in District 118, incumbent Tomas Uresti, and as we all know, Tomas is the brother of Senator Carlos Uresti, who was found guilty of 11 felony charges. So do you think the last name had a negative impact on voters?
Yeah, there was two things working in that particular election. One was the downfall of Carlos Uresti. The other one, you know, and that falling over and affecting his brother in his election. The other thing is that the Uresti machine on the south side had reached a level where they were developing some bad blood and bad relationships on the south side, and it was a combination of folks seeing this as an opportunity to get even with the machine, but also Carlos Uresti's name, you know, kind of doing a lot of damage to Tomas Uresti. And so, to me, that wasn't surprising at all to see him fall.
Now, in a state level, Governor Abbott has come out and endorsed Chris Fales against Representative Lyle Larson, but despite that, he kept his seat. Do you think that that helped Larson take the win? Oh
yeah, no, I mean, you know, Lyle Larson's example or case was one that exemplifies an old traditional political science principle, that elections are won mostly by friends and neighbors. And when the governor stepped in and decided to back his own guy, that sent a message to the community: the governor is going to interfere, the government wants to control this office and decide who's the candidate. And that upset the electorate. They said, no, he's our representative, not your representative. And they went in and protected Representative Larson.
All right, Dr. Henry Flores, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.